Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you. Hello, everyone. I am Abdelrahman Mahmoud, a targeted individual, also basically a TI from North London. Before I start, I want to swear by Allah, while holding the Holy Scripture, the Holy Quran. I want to swear by Allah that I will tell the truth to the best of my knowledge and that I will not add or take away anything from my harassment. Um, Basically, it's been almost 2 years and a half, 3 years. I don't know. Maybe they've been watching me for more than that. But sorry. But seems like these guys are not leaving me alone, and I've been sleep deprived for the past couple of days. They've been doing the V2K non-stop every single day for a very long time. I can't remember. Sometimes I lose track of time because of the fact that I just think about this all the time. I tried to work, but they still broadcasting voices through microwave to me. I tried to plead with them and tell them just leave me alone. Like, you already ruined my life. You already ruined my marriage. They're not leaving me alone. I try and disrespect them, diss them, be like, yeah, you motherfuckers, this, that. I'm sorry for the language. But what they do back is basically, they just either watch you because they don't care, because they have the upper hand, because they're the ones who's stalking you, or just like last night, a couple of perps on the V2K got really upset and said, oh, your ex-wife, this and that. And they spoke, basically, they said, they spoke about how they watched us, me and my ex-wife, make love and stuff like that, and they insulted her because they know, that would kind of get to me. But that's fine. Anyways, I am trying to, come up with a deadline for these people because, to be honest with you guys, all the other TIs out there, I cannot live like this. And I'm telling you, these people are turning me into a Manchurian candidate. They want me to do something, and this is why they're torturing me. And the funny thing about this is, I am a law-abiding citizen. I never broke a law. I never harmed anybody. But I feel like I'm right now, like, my back is against the wall. That these people cornered me basically from everywhere. And even when I went to Holland, I could still hear them. They made me they make me dizzy. They play games with me. Like, I even developed this like sudden body movements. I don't know what you guys call them. It has a name probably. Like, like I just twitch. And it's weird. I can't control it. And apparently, I told my doctor. He said, "Oh, there's nothing." This was time ago, and it's caused because of them, because of the stress. When they sectioned me and took me to the mental asylum, I developed that condition where I can't breathe, and my body just like twitches, my muscles without. It's like my brain sending signal to my body to move, and I can't control it. I never had any of these type of medical conditions, or this has happened purely out of like torture and stress. Basically, the torture that they're doing to me is stressing me out so much that is having literally a physical effect on me, plus the long-term consequences of microwave cancer, blah blah blah, etc. These people seem to be playing games with me, like for the past couple of days, when they, of course, I already said in my other videos that they are the MI5 or COINTEL, community intelligence police, anything, one of them, doesn't matter, and they just work for the government. That's why I know. And basically, yesterday and the day before, they were just saying bunch of lies. They're including they're all gays, and they stalked me because I look mixed race. They stalked me because I wanted to have 4 wives, some shit like that, because I used to joke about that kind of stuff with my friends. Uh, they stalked me because basically I smoked weed and shit like that. Also, they say, what else? And they stalked me because my Romanian neighbors next door, the ones that I thought were calling me terrorist and stuff like that, right at the beginning of my harassment. I don't know if they're involved with them, or can they use their voices. I have no idea the extent of their technology, but it is amazing. Like, it's crazy basically what they could do, and the fact that they're hiding this from people. Also, it's like, so they say we stalked you because these guys were racist and we thought you're a terrorist, but the truth is they know, because they've been stalking me for years. Did they chip me back in 2014 when I went for my hyperhidrosis? I don't know. But I know one thing right now, and it is, if I do not if they do not stop this surveillance, I will do something about it. And I did not want, God knows, I do not want to do anything. I do not want to break the law. I do not want to harm anyone. But I feel like I'm trapped, and these people are trying to make me a Manchurian candidate. And with this torture, sleep deprivation, V2K 24 hours a day, stalking on the road, all this combination, like losing my wife, my job, it's like it's all overwhelming. And it's like I can't even start and I can't even make a new start. Like I told them, like, just let me start over, just leave me alone. What have I done to you? And it's like they give me 100, like they give me all these reasons and excuses. They tell me, we're gonna watch you for 3 years, you know, we're the MI5, we're gonna watch you for 3 years. And I'm like, okay, if you're gonna watch me for 3 years, because I heard this before in the news that they watch people for like 3 years or something like that. I told them, when is the 3 years gonna end? Because the first time I heard the V2K was back in November, like 17th or 20th of November or something like that. Can't remember. It's the first time I really realized that they made themselves visible, like, you know, because they raised the V2K voice and they started calling me terrorist, start calling me all sorts of names. So I asked them how long left, and they don't give me an answer. And then they like, oh guys, he believed it. He believed that we're MI5. And then they will say they're gays, and then they'll be like, oh guys, he believed we're gays. And then they'll say, but they will keep jumping from MI5 and gays. So it's like, you know, they want me to either like target the MI5 or target the gays. But I've been stalked by homosexuals, gays on the road. They came to my workplace when I worked last year, when I worked for Access Security company that they have their head office in Angel. Uh, Basically, there was one site I was working on. I was still married to my wife, and I didn't even know back then. Like this was like a year ago thing. I think it all made sense now. About I think it's like slightly over a year ago, maybe a year ago or something. I can't remember exactly the dates. I just need to look back at, you know, think about it really. Um, Basically, these people took me when I was working in 200 Hammersmith in West London. I was working at a corporate building that has an Emirati company on the low, like basically that they had airlines or some shit like that. You know, it's an Emirati company, and then they have Universal Music, they have DHL on the third floor, and they have, I don't know, other company, and then they have Israeli company, Armdocs. You know, Armdocs at the fifth floor. And what these people did is basically the people that work in DHL, the third floor, like a Jamaican guy, another guy, they took me to a Friday prayer, and they kind of insisted. I didn't know the area. I was just gonna pray, you know, at work, and I am a security guy. These people took me to Friday prayer, and then one of the guys that took me actually went, like, he disappeared, you know, when we was waiting for the Friday speech, and he gave the speech himself. His name is Abdullah Corey. He's a Jamaican with a big beard. If you go to the mosque in Shepherd's Bush Market, and these people know I'm making this video now, so they can move from all these places right now. They have the capability to just switch masjids, switch everything. You'll find, if you go to that masjid, you'll find that they recruited so many Somalis there, like, and so many youngsters. And these youngsters, they have big beards, Salafi brothers, you know. I can't call them brothers because they're recruited by the MI5. So these people are two-faced hypocrites that pretend to be Muslim, that stalk innocent Muslims. And the only thing that makes sense to me right now, because it's like these people can read your mind. They can do synthetic telepathy, V2K, remote neural monitoring. Check it out, please, before you say I'm lying. I have no reason to lie. I had a wife, I had 2 jobs, I was a happy person, and there's no reason for me to make this video. Like, I never made videos before this on YouTube or on social media. I'm not the type of guy that, you know, wants attention or even would be on Snapchat or something like that. So these people, they took me to Friday prayer, and then they basically discussed basically backbiting and slandering, which is what the V2K voices do to you, like when they tell you terrorist, this, that, and you feel like people like talking about you. So they said, oh, forgive and forget and this and that. And the funny thing is, the same night these people ruined my life and told me so many lies, and it just all made sense that I believed them at the time, that, you know, they said your wife is MI5 and this and that, and she works with us, and remember when she told you this, remember when you guys did this. And at the beginning I didn't know these people were in my head. So it's like, how can these people know these private stuff? like unless they're telling the truth. So based on that, that these people and sleep deprivation and harassment and stalking, like really excessive, that I actually believed them at the end. Like I was like why would they lie? Who are these people and why are they doing this to me if it's not true? Like, and there's I had 100 questions on my mind, but right now at this stage I don't even want to know why they're doing this to me. All I just want is my freedom, and these people are not gonna give it to me. I realize they're not gonna give it to me because we get like, especially like they tell me all these lies. I get rude to them, and then they threaten me some more, and they tell me you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison. You know, you're gonna basically, we're gonna torture you, we're gonna rape you in prison, like all sorts of shit. And basically they're making threats, just like I made threats against them, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna retaliate. I'm not gonna take it, blah blah blah, etc. And looks like right now we're in a deadlock. So it's like I don't know what to do. For the other TIs that will say, do not do anything stupid, trust me, I do not. I'm not the type of guy who would do anything stupid. I'm not the type of guy who would do anything violent. But like I'm saying, I cannot get these people out of my head. And these are the MI5 that are doing this to people. And they recruit gays, straights, Somalis, like English. Like they're trying to recruit basically from every area. They're trying to recruit as many people as they can so that they could just have all these, I don't know, like I don't all these snitches or these mind control puppets that are just walking around. I don't know if they pay them or not. I have no idea. Or they just blackmail them, or they torture them through mind control, and that's how they try and control them. What is their purpose? Is it a social? Is it a non-consensual human experimentation? Is it the MI5 trying their new weapons? Like, is it just a bunch of satanic, obsessive gays stalking me? Like they claim to be everything. Like, so one day they'll say this, 1 minute they'll say that, 1 minute they'll say the other, and it's like, I swear, like I don't know what to believe anymore. But I know one thing right now. I know that I cannot live like this, and I remember my life before all this started, and it's so weird how happy I was. And even though I had problems and I had, I was struggling my own ways. Like everyone has problems in life. Everyone has, like things to accomplish, dreams and ambitions. And these people took away my dreams and ambitions. Right now, we're in a stage of, if you do not free me, I will retaliate. And I don't want to say that, but it's like they leave me no option. They do not leave me any option. They do not want to let me go. And so I just wanted to say that I might make one more video if they don't come and arrest me now, because they can hear everything. I'm gonna make one more video that will have some very, very, very important details. I'll make a video of my will to my family, just in case these people try something. People need to know, like, what are my last wishes and stuff, my family. And if this ever gets out, I think these people will never let this get out. So they will either kill me, silence me, or arrest me, like very soon before I even try and like do anything to them. And it's like, to be honest, this is not what I want, but I feel like they dragging me down this road. And to be honest, I just decided not to stop resisting. I decided, okay, do you want to be my enemy? Do you want me to fight you? This is what you want? Then so be it. Fine. I do not care. As a Muslim, I believe I should defend myself. I have the right to free myself from this enslavement, from this mind control torture, from all these V2K in 24 hours, from sleep deprivation, uh, no privacy, basically, no respect for my rights as a human being. Like breaking my human rights, Article 5. My freedom of privacy, and my right to have privacy and everything. And it's like, to be honest, I don't know what else to do. And I know there are a lot of TIs that trying to go through court and trying to do, like trying to go through legal means, but I tried to go to the police twice. I called the police once because I got chased by a knife, and I think the guys that chased me with a knife were kind of connected. It was just weird because my perps were all there. And then I called the police, and I told them about the perps, that chill in Duke of Edinburgh pub in Wood Green, the gays. And the police were like, you know what they told me? When I told them these guys are involved in this, you know what they told me when the police came? They were like, these guys are worried about you. I swear to God, that's what they told me. They told me these guys are worried about you. Imagine the police, you complaining someone to the police, like you call the police, yeah, and you be like, this guy did this to me. And the police is like, they go and talk to them for a minute, less than a minute, and then come back and tell you, these guys are worried about you. So they torture you and then they worry about you. This is what they're telling, like, so it just shows like these people cannot be anybody other than either COINTEL or MI5 or some shit like that. Because otherwise, why wouldn't the police to have a talk with them? Like, why would the police talk to me as if like these people are superior to the police? They were right there in front of the police, and I'm telling the police like these people are doing this harassment to me, telling them. And so the second time I went, they said you have no evidence. The third time I went, they took my report, so I reported it. They apparently, so they wrote stuff down and stuff, and I was like, listen, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna even break down a door if you don't like take a report. And thing is, the guy pretend, from his eyes I could just tell like he felt sorry for me, because he knows, I think a lot of them know that this stuff is real and it's happening to people, and a lot of people are probably complaining from it, but there's nothing he can do about it, because this whole rank thing, like, so if the police, like, if the MI5 is breaking the law, the police cannot do anything to the MI5, and nobody can go. It's not like the MI5 have like an office where you can go and complain. I tried to basically download a form from the MI5 website to complain the MI5 to the MI5, the tribunal thing. And after I downloaded, the PDF files, they started stalking me on the road in a crazy way. They would actually literally stop them in the middle of the road, and there's cars behind them, and they would just stare at me. They would like, have like a grin, a smile, like people on the bus, like, and they would basically try and deter you. So I realized, shit, like I'm trying to complain to the same people that are doing this to me, and complaining to the police. Like, the police can't do anything for you. Nobody can do anything for you. So you only have God. So I realized, if I only have God, and these people won't leave me alone, and they say we're gonna watch you for the rest of your life for 3 years, and you don't know what's real and what's not anymore. So I decided, to be honest, to not be afraid anymore. I decided that I don't care like what happens. So to all the TIs, if anything happens to me, if for some reason these people are labeling me terrorist on the news or anything like this, I want you to come out and to take that chance to possibly free yourself from the surveillance. If you can, protest and tell people that TIs are real, because they're gonna hide this under the whole terrorist umbrella. This is what they do. And it's so funny how all these people that done terrorist attacks knew the MI5 before they done it. Like, the MI5 said, oh, we knew these guys, but we stopped watching them. But I'm telling you, if anything happens to me, the MI5 is doing this to me right now. They are actually pushing me down this road. And you say, what is your proof? To be honest, like, there's not many proofs other than the people that I can point at, that the ones that took me to the masjid, that done the speech. I know their faces, I know some of their names, I know where I worked and how they tried to recruit me, and they knew basically that I wouldn't be recruited. Like, I don't want to work for them. I don't want to be a spy. I don't want to spy on people's private lives. They spied on me, and I'm an innocent citizen. I've never broken a law, and they done this to me. Like, they damaged me so much. Like, I can't trust, like, I can't make new friends. I can't trust people, because any of them can be perp. Like, they ruined my marriage. Like, they made me suspect my wife is an agent. So you can imagine the psychological trauma that they caused me. And yet I'm still here, and I'm trying to start a new page, and they won't let me. So I realize I don't have plenty of options. So I'm either gonna be I'm gonna be very dead soon, or I'm gonna be in prison for the rest, maybe, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years. And God knows I don't want any of them. I want to be free and just live my life in peace. But that doesn't seem to be an option, when you deal with this type of harassment. Like, these people think they're above the law. These cowards know that they will not be held accountable for everything they do, because after they made me divorce my wife, if they were actually on the side of the law, if they were like legit, they would actually back off and be like, okay, we made a mistake with this guy. But they did not. They continued to harass me. They continued to send kids. Like, they would actually send kids and kids would say AIDS, because they told me your ex-wife had AIDS. One of the things they told me, along the fact that she's a lesbian, MI5, an atheist, and They said all these lies. And the thing is, when people tell you shit like all the time, like especially at that back then, I did not know it was remote neural monitoring. I did not know these people were in my head, so I had to believe them. I didn't know there's a technology out there that people can read your mind, can see your thoughts, and can telepathically communicate with you. So let this be in the record that Abdelrahman Abdullahi Mahmoud did not did not submit to their will. I only submit to God's will. And let it be in the record that, you know, I am willing to fight back, and I will fight back one way or another. Like, I'll find out something to do, because you can't plan nothing when these people are in your head. And that's it, really. I just want to tell people, like, they will say terrible stuff about me. Like, they will say, oh, he was a terrorist, he's ISIS or some shit like that. But I swear to God, no allegiance to ISIS, no violent history, never been in prison. I actually would love, I think if they ask people close to me, my friends and family, they will say I am a kind person, you know. Like, so I know I'm not a bad person. Maybe this is why they chose me. They thought, okay, this guy cannot do shit about the harassment. If we, you know, like, he's just gonna sit there and maybe submit, or just live with it, and we can experiment on him. Maybe that's why they don't choose violent people. That maybe that's why most of TIs are either, most of them are women, and even the men, like, they're just like very friendly, like very gentle people. So this is why they choose these people, because they know these people cannot retaliate. That's why they're not choosing a violent person. So from here, I want to say to everyone I knew, like, don't believe things you hear from me. Like, if you haven't seen me for a while, it's because I've been going through this torture, and it's overwhelming, to be honest. This is all I have to say. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.